Hello, whoever's there. Don't worry, the diet is not off. I just had something on my mind and I wanted a beer before it drives me crazy. So I rushed to the Gusto where they got 200 yen beers. So this last few days I've been reading up on well, not so much dieting, but the best way to sort these things out. I think I'm on the right track. And I came across something today, and I've done this before. When I was in Spain visiting my sister, I was sat next. This old guy came and sat next to me at the bar. He's in his 80s, and he drank a glass of green olive oil. And I've done it a few times actually. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. But I read today that if you take it on a regular basis, if you have like a tablespoonful every day, and this guy recommended some Himalayan mountain salt, this electrolytes, this is how he termed it, and this would help your pancreas or help the insulin to help out with the liver and so on. So I went to buy some olive oil, but it's not cheap. It's a bit wary about to pick the right one. And I looked at there's a vast difference in some of them prices. So be wary. And one of them was called Olio Vizia. And I thought, well, it looked to me at first sight, it looked like oil. This is supposed to be extra virgin oil, but there was twice as much, and it was cheaper than like a well-known oil. So I looked up this. What did this mean? And I looked it up, and it said it just spoiled oil, or oil spoils. They've got to be taking the fucking piss. They're selling a product overseas with an Italian name saying oil, with a translation of oil spoils. I just think a lot of these companies, and for example, when the CIA, when they blew up the fucking Twin Towers, it was done on 9/11. There's no Arab that fucking thinks like that. They're taking the fucking piss. And it was the same with KAL-007. This flight was under an American spy plane, and the Russians shot it down. Then Ronald Reagan was crying fucking blue murder that Russians are evil. But this goes back many, many years, because the Russians and the guy that was in charge of that particular operation from the Russian side, he was one of the pilots in the 1960s and 70s that were trying to reach the spy bombers, because they couldn't, the spy planes, because the Russian planes could not get to the same altitude, so they couldn't shoot them down, apart from Gary Powers. Apart from Gary Powers, who got shot down. And so they called that flight KAL-007. Oh, that was the flight, and they said, we'll use that as a fucking... They're taking the fucking piss. And it's the same with this. Large companies, they just take the piss out of fucking average people. And then they go and fucking take some more cocaine in the fucking toilet. Well, I could have had 2 beers, or I could have gone to the yakitori shop and had 1 large beer for 500 yen. So I got 2 smalls for 400 yen. I haven't been on this time of night for quite a while. But something is bugging me, and it's bugging me really fucking bad. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to read Japanese because they don't have spaces. They don't have spaces between the letters. So sometimes it can be quite tricky reading Japanese words. Oh my god, I'm not having that. I bought some. Yeah, no, there was something behind it. Well, today was a little bit warm, but I don't particularly like it. So I don't know what the weather's like tomorrow. So I'm just trying out a theory. So I'm not doing like a keto diet. No, a keto diet where you eat low carbs. Even though I haven't been hardly, I haven't been eating any carbs really. Just a little bit of rice. I had one portion of rice yesterday, and some bit on sushi, and but I've had no bread for seems quite a while now. Must be a week. So I haven't had any bread. So, but I'm not doing the keto diet. I am doing the intermittent fasting, and so for the last 3 days, 4 days, was it Sunday? No, I did. No, so from Sunday. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I've done like about 20 hours, and today 21 hours, 20, 21, 22 hours. The last few days of fasting, and it's been working good. You know, I've lost 4.2 kilos over 4 days. Well, you can choose your own time, but I think that's the best one. If you know, like if you have your last meal at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. For example, I've been having my last meal about yesterday was 3 o'clock. The last time I ate 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and maybe 4 or 5, something like that, the other 2 days. So like I say, so I didn't really eat in the evening. But if you keep yourself busy, I think that works best. And then if you do want a breakfast, for example, if your last meal is 4 o'clock, because it's 16 hours, that's the deal. So if you have your last meal at 4 o'clock, then if you get up early, you can have a breakfast at 8 o'clock, and you've still got some fat burning timing. And I was thinking yesterday, not today, I was thinking yesterday of doing it. I've done 2 or 3 40-hour fasts. No, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You know, you can. You know, like I think it's. I think some people they said like 16 hours, 8 hours. I think some people would be tempted to fucking eat all the 8 hours, especially Americans. I'm gonna eat from fucking from 12 o'clock until 8 o'clock. But I think you should just like eat, fill yourself up, get some protein in, get some vegetables in, get a bit of this, bit of that, no sugar. This is what I'm doing now. No sugar apart from this beer. But like I said, something's on my mind, so I decided to want a beer to calm me down. So, but I'll be back on it tomorrow. Now, someone. No, but I'm not I'm not hungry. When you do this intermittent fasting, you don't, apart from the first day, first 6 hours, something like that, you don't feel hunger pains. You really don't. If you can just get over the first 8 hours, and you're all right. I don't know, maybe a kilo and a half, something like that. But don't forget, I've got a lot of fat. I don't think this suits. It's not for losing weight if you're slim. You know, there are other things to doing it. It's not just for losing weight. But I've got a lot of fat, so I've got a lot of fat to eat, and so it's a lot easier looking at it that way. If you've got a lot of fat, then you can do it. But if you've only got a little bit of fat, then it's going to be slower. So I probably got about 40 kilograms of fat, something like that. So this morning I was 105.7 or 8 kilos. So I'm drinking this beer. So this is a test. I didn't eat since was it 3 o'clock today? I think. So 3 o'clock was the last. I had a bit of fish from the other day. I started eating at 12 o'clock. Then I had one half. I ate beetroot, tofu, natto, oatmeal with the berries and things. A couple of bananas, cuddly toy. So it was all like healthy food, no bread. Oh yeah, I said beetroot, yeah. I forgot to eat the yogurt. But like I don't. It all depends on what. Is he trying to sell those bikes? Is he? I don't know what weight is Boris Johnson. I think my heaviest I ever got to was like 111 kilos. But I've known people in Japan, they've got up to 150. God knows how they fucking did that. Because I'm sure you can't breathe, hardly walk. I've just been watching a video of a guy that was 540 pounds and he lost 300 pounds, but he was still 220 pounds, so he was still a big guy. No, but like I said, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I've cut my drinking down a lot, cut the bread down, cut the sugar down, or out. But apparently, white bread, any candies, chocolate, white bread, rice, all bad. You lose weight when you breathe out, so it's done by breathing. And it's a TED lecture, it's quite interesting. And so, and to summarize this lecture, this guy is Australian scientist, and to sum up what he said was, one, don't eat carbohydrates, because when you're breathing out a carbon atom. There's an extra carbon atom when you breathe out, and when you're breathing out, that's how you lose weight. So if you don't eat those carbohydrates in the first place, you don't have to breathe those out. And the next one was keep on breathing, keep on moving. All the Hawaiian wrestler, Chad Rowan, was not Chad, not Koniski, he was 265k. I've seen him actually, because he's got a little band or something, he's always singing. Now, someone suggested to me, and this is what I did think about doing this tonight actually. I did think about taking up his suggestion of having a Asahi 0 calorie beer, and maybe I should have done that, and that's what I might do in the future. If I feel like a beer, have one of those, and it won't affect. Well, we'll see. I'll do an experiment on it, and just see if that works. Yeah, if like I say, if you can do it. When I was on the Royal Marine courses, the first one I lost a lot. I think in the last 40 years, it's the only time that I lost my stomach, and I got it back within 2 weeks. But then again, that's when it was a small stomach, nothing like today, of course. No, that's supposed. Yeah. There's no alcohol. Yeah, zero alcohol. No, because like I say, if I can just, sometimes I just want. It's just quenching my thirst. That's all, and it's just a habit. But I don't get, don't get really excited. So, but it's just quenching the thirst. It's just a habit. That's all. And that's what I said. That's what I'm thinking of. Maybe taking his advice and having a light zero alcohol, especially if it has no bad effects on what I'm trying to do in losing weight. But also to see if I can still lose some weight. And this is what you're like. People say, "Oh, it's just water," but I'm constantly drinking water. So all day, nearly all day, I'll increase that now. Now summer's coming. So it's not. I'm not losing water weight because when I got about like I piss a litre of water or nearly a litre of water most nights. That and since I didn't have any drinks for a few days, that really didn't change much. The only thing that changed was the colour of the piss from blue to red. But I did find out that soda is no good for you, any kind of it. Yeah, I think you can. Look, it's only TMI, thinking machine in it. No, but it's just dawned on me now that they said breakfast is the best meal of the day. Well, it's not really, is it? You know, because sometimes there was a book I read many years ago, and it's called Elimination. So in other words, don't eat until you shit all the things. I did that the other day actually. I went in for about an hour. I got a bath, and then I had a couple of long saunas, and then I went in the pool about 3 or 4 times. It's just a shock to the system. So that's all right. But what I usually do, I wait outside the bath for come out of the sauna, and then wait outside 5 minutes, 10 minutes until all the water has come out of my body, and then I jump in the pool because the water hasn't finished coming out yet, or the sweat, or whatever, the fluid. This is catching on, but people like going for breakfast, you know, and when it's so cheap, you know, it's nice to have an egg McMuffin and a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and so people like that. But if fucking a third of America stopped eating breakfast, fuck man. That would be bad news for the fucking food industry. No, but you don't need to. I've done 4 kilos. I've lost 4 kilos in the sauna, and I used to. It was the sauna and the sweat room. You know, because I used to exercise in the sweat room and just walk around or doing press ups, sit ups, things like that. And like I said, the most I ever lost was 4 kilos. But like I say, it's just water, so it doesn't really mean anything. But it just might give your body a good clean out. I wouldn't say it's just as fat as America. Not really. There's a massive difference. No, there's a lot of fat Britons, but not in the same respect as Americans. Americans they're the world champions. No, I need to fix my back. The homeless guy said he fixed it, but he didn't. I told him it was really slow, so I need to sort that out. But I walked a little bit yesterday, maybe about a mile. Yeah, it goes off. If it goes off from here, it'll go off. So I was lucky today because when I came in with the money, 1,000 yen, $10, I'd actually fucking pulled it out of my pocket and it fell on the floor. And luckily, the waitress saw it. Excuse me. Michael's bad, isn't it? He's Saba, man, because it's always got that taste, hasn't it, Saba? Okay, I'm gonna have a good drink. No, there's no inflation. In fact, I would probably earn when I started working there as a teacher in 1990. I could work mornings and I would one evening in the mornings, and I would get like 180,000 yen. I did. I only had to work one evening. I was working at a bar as well, and I gave that job up. I was fucking. I had nothing to do, I could have had another fucking 100,000 a month. That was a bad mistake. But yeah, it's cheap. You can live here cheap in Japan. Like I bought the fish the other day. It was like 500 yen and 700 yen. I paid 100 yen for fucking fish. So this is why. So now I'm thinking, with this virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil,